they would kick a small child.
Oh, I didn't know my phone should be charged.
Shit together there.
Hey everybody, welcome to Simple Politics, episode 7. We're actually joined by a guest today, former KKK member, Pat T.
What?
Alright, just for all, so everyone knows, Pat T is not, nor has he ever been in the KKK. That was a joke.
Can you prove that?
I'm not racist.
Oh my god. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. First, we've got Donald Trump being acquitted of essentially treasonous acts. We've got some stuff to talk about, particularly with coal mining, and some other stuff related to electric vehicles. So, gentlemen, let's talk about Donald Trump and the whole thing. What are your thoughts and takes on that?
Well, the Republican Party just said he could kill a child and get away with it.
Looks like it's going to be a speed race to me.
I mean, first of all, this is how hypocritical Mitch
They just made it seem that way. Bitchy Mitch just said, you know what? It's awful that he would kill a child, but I also don't want to say that's a bad thing to do, Donald.
Well, I mean, first of all, Mitch McConnell said, he said if he were the president, he would have impeached him. It's like,
okay,
yeah, but you didn't want to do an impeachment trial while he was in office. So,
Mitch McConnell is trying to be put into the home. He's very fucking old.
I mean, whether or not he's old really doesn't matter.
It does.
It
does.
It just has. I mean, it's his dogmatic, narrow views that have.
He's holding everyone back with his old ass views. Okay. Yeah. And then Ted Cruz is so fucking mushy. His body is like a shark. It's all hard cartilage. There is no bone in his body.
You see his latest haircut?
His new haircut is terrible, but it matches his fucking shitty, stupid face.
Okay, he is the Zodiac.
Yeah, it does. Have you seen his new haircut?
No, but now you guys got me
God.
interested.
Are you talking? I haven't seen Moscow Mitch's new haircut.
That's what they're calling Ted Cruz?
Oh, Ted Cruz, sorry. Ted Cruz, he's letting it grow out, I thought.
Oh man, you gotta look at that haircut. Yeah, that thing is either his barber doesn't know how to cut hair for shit, or his barber's like, yeah, fuck you, Ted Cruz, where's my money?
What the hell is he doing? Oh my god, that's terrible.
But it matches him though. It looks as shitty as he is.
What? That looks terrible.
I know.
I guess his barber was like, yeah, fuck this guy. I'm just gonna drink a lot of beer.
Yo, fuck this fat idiot.
Jesus Christ, man, that was terrible.
I know.
There's this one picture from the Laredo Times that literally makes it look like he's trying to go mullet style.
Yeah. Could you imagine, like, he has no friends or family because there's no way anyone was looking out for him. Like, imagine Andy has that haircut and we're just like, fuck it, let's let him go out in public like that. No one gave a fuck enough to tell him, don't do that.
Jesus Christ, man! That's the
Zodiac killer for you. Very unpredictable.
That's the worst attempt at a mullet I've ever seen.
That you've seen so far. It's still in the growing process.
Oh man!
Give it like another month.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the new evolution now. Of like, let's see how the Republican Party grows as a really shitty party, and how does Ted Cruz's hair grow in the future?
But here's what I want to know. Okay, so we've had one president impeached, or almost impeached. We had
Mhm.
another one who was impeached for bullshit reasons, Bill Clinton, and now we have Donald Trump. Can we officially say that? I mean, this sets a bad precedent. Like,
Yeah, we could say he was impeached twice and he lost the popular vote twice. He's a fucking loser like the Republican Party.
yeah, and it's just like, well, now, like, what does it actually take to impeach a president in 20? Like, it is
Be a
pretty.
Democrat.
It pretty much all has to deal with.
Be a Democrat. If you're
Yeah.
a Democrat, you get impeached. If you're a Republican, you're to kill children as long as you have that R in front of your name. But not babies in the womb. They're the ones that are protected.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, a president would have to do something drastic. Like
Like I said, have that D in front of his name instead of an R. That's a sinnable offense in America now.
I think I think
go deep down there and not
only-
the in the other
the
corner.
only way you're going to get true impeachment is if you have 67 Democrats elected. That's the only way. You're not going to get them elected or impeached any other way. That's it.
God, 67 Democrats. That's tough.
Well, we had 60 in 2008, but that got pissed away by, the party leadership at the time.
The general rule of thumb by the Democratic Party is think of them like the Raiders or the Bills. They'll find a way to choke.
I mean, I think
you have to mention.
I
the
think
Raiders.
I think Schumer is a lot better than Reid was, but we still have about 4 or 5, whatever you want to call them, moderates, I guess,
But it's not even the Democratic Party
that are causing trouble in
It's the real
by
it's the
trying to
Republican-
reach across the aisle when we don't have to reach
Yeah,
across
reaching
the aisle.
reaching across the aisle is dead. It's. I'm
Well,
sorry.
yeah.
I tried to
That's the main
see.
problem. That's not the main problem. It's the fact is that Trump can do whatever he wants, and Mitch McConnell and all the other little goonies will never go against him. You have Lindsey Graham shouting random shit. There's the other Republican that I linked you guys to just the other day that he believed that the Capitol riots were a hoax. He made these posts just like a week
The
ago.
Michigan senator, right?
Yeah, the senator in Michigan saying that the Capitol riots were a hoax. How do you say that the Capitol riots were a hoax? We all know they happened now at this point. That's not even
It happened.
denying it.
It's everywhere.
I know.
All over the news.
That's like me going to Pat T's house and just smashing all his windows, videotaping myself doing it, and then telling him, "Fuck you, I didn't do it. What the fuck are you talking about?"
Right?
And I'm not going to get in trouble either.
Yeah, but this sets a really bad precedent. It really does.
It does. Because it just means that they're going to get away with more shit in the future.
Well, it also means that impeachment is all accounted
A
on
joke.
how many people
joke.
do you have in the
It's going to be
Senate?
taken seriously. It's a joke. Eat the rich.
Yeah, it is a joke at this point. So now that this is all over, you think?
It's not over.
Well, I mean, Donald Trump isn't over. He's running in 2024. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if we were in Naruto, now we're at what's called the filler arc, okay? You know, Donald Trump is now hitting the mountains for some training, and he's ready to come back in 4 years.
Oh,
Mastering some other...
Train under Jiraiya.
That's right. He's going to master some Jaijutsu shit and just come on in and, I don't know, a bigger riot.
Come in with the giant frog.
Yeah, I mean... Well, he's going to come in on a turtle. It's going to be Mitch fucking McConnell.
There is one thing. So Parler is actually back. They finally got up and running. You can't start an account, but
Oh no, my hopes and dreams.
But here's the thing, Donald Trump, I don't know if he was on Parler, but he's kicked off of Twitter. He's kicked off of...
He's kicked off everything. Of course he's going to be on fucking Parler. Those are the idiots who believe in him.
Yeah, so now it's going to be kind of interesting like now that I mean,
It's a
he
whole
never-
little underground, terrible groupie riot shit.
I
Believe
know.
that. You got Jew lasers in the sky.
I almost want to start a Parlor account just to see what's on there. I know it's full of cancer, and it would just make me sad just looking at the platform. But
I know it's going to be shouting about Jew lasers, and the Democrats are trying to eat the babies, and it's going to be all based upon nothing. And the only reason why they hate science is because they can't even spell the word.
like I think he's gonna get even crazier. Like,
Oh yeah, well that's what happens in the Naruto saga. I mean, he comes back and he mastered some crazy shit. He got really powerful. No one expected it from young outcast Naruto, but he showed everybody with all those fillers. Donnie Uzumaki is ready to do the same.
oh,
The
jeez.
next Hokage.
But it's gonna be he's gonna be even worse. Like, can you imagine if in 2024 he wins and without the popular vote, this country will go insane.
Of course, but that's how he would win, of course. He's not going to win due to the popular vote.
No, they definitely gotta make sure that he doesn't come any close. Well, any Republican really. I view them all under the same lens that I view Donald Trump as just bad for the country. So,
He has to come from a neoliberal, too, so he knows.
also, folks who are watching, I am not a neoliberal.
Well, you haven't taken the test yet, so
Yeah.
you
He has some
don't
neoliberal
actually
views.
know. That's going to be like our first YouTube video outside of the podcast. Just is Steve a neoliberal? Question mark.
The gang finds out Steve's a neoliberal.
But anyway, here's an interesting question: if Donald Trump wins, will Mike Pence be his vice president again?
No.
I don't think so.
He's gonna find a new lackey. Mike Pence is already his lack of faith is very disturbing to Donald Trump. So
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
it might be. I'm not even kidding.
Which is even worse than Mike. Like Mike.
It would make
Pence-
sense.
like,
She's as
Mike-
bad shit as him. She's willing to clearly shout whatever it is to the sky. Hell, she might start shouting about Jew lasers and Democratic lasers and gay lasers.
She had to go on the floor of the Senate and say that 9/11 happened, so she's definitely fucking nuts. Because apparently she had said things in the past that she didn't think 9/11 actually happened.
I know, but what's terrible about them? She's talking about Jew lasers in the sky.
Yeah.
Sounds like-
What? You got to turn your volume up.
Yeah, dude, turn up your volume, man.
Turn up your volume. Come on, you're an audio dude.
My volume is up.
There we go.
All right. Anyway, but yeah, if Marjorie Taylor Greene is like, I always saw Mike Pence as very creepy, like very, very creepy, like.
Yeah, but that's because he doesn't have a soul. He's very dead and hollow on the inside. So he just kind of stares at you, but he's more looking through you because he can't figure what he's looking at.
well, I mean,
That's
but-
where the flies are on him. I mean, his body might be made up of flies. He might be entirely flies.
Maybe that's why the fly landed on him. He was trying to find
Yeah.
his way back into.
I mean, he might be like literally a hollow husk that there's like hundreds of billion flies inside him controlling his movements like a fly ratatouille.
But yeah, this is. I honestly, because also if Donald Trump does run again and he
Well, he's going to. I don't see why he wouldn't. What the fuck else has he got going on in his
see,
fucking...
here's the thing. So there
got
was that
nothing.
whole
Right.
plan. There was that whole plan that, which is a terrible plan, by the way, that Joe Biden would only he would only run for one
Yeah, you
term.
say this like a dozen times. I imagine if Trump is going
I'm
to...
sorry, it's a terrible
But it-
fucking. That whole idea was a terrible idea.
But if Trump decides to run, then he's probably going to run again.
Yeah, and but knowing the Democratic Party, I mean, in a way, you're kind of right. The Democratic Party is like they're like the Oakland Raiders or the Bills. They
I know. Find a way to
start out
choke.
yeah, they find a way to choke because they don't understand
They
how
give, they
politics.
give you that little bit of hope to be like, oh man, are they turning things around?
Yeah.
Oh, and then you find out, nah, they
Well,
were
we'll
who
have
they thought
to-
they were.
We'll have to see what happens in 2022 because there's a lot of seats that they could turn over.
Yeah, that will be that will
The
actually
seats
be
that
a
are
huge
up
factor in how
are
they're gonna look at
Bluer. There are blue seats, purple seats. You know, we won 2
orange
seats in
seats, black
Georgia.
seats, white
I would
seats.
imagine that if we were able to win those 2 seats in Georgia, the seat in Wisconsin, the seat in Ohio,
Well, I'm gonna.
I would definitely think that those are definitely in play.
Ohio doesn't look too favorable.
and Pennsylvania as well, because Pennsylvania is Pat Toomey's retiring, Andy's gone, or Pat's gone.
He died.
Pat
he
Toomey
died.
is retiring. Then there's also the seat in North Carolina that we could flip. So it's definitely a doable thing. And what they have to do, they have to grab Joe Manchin by the balls. They have to grab Kristen Sinema by her hair and tell them that
he's
they
alive
have to start
He died.
fighting against the Republicans and stop being a thorn in the side of the Democrats.
Okay, well,
I looked at their campaign finance, and they took a little bit of cash. Well, a little bit in campaign standards, anyway. Of
Yeah, and then
cash
they laundered it.
from the restaurant industry.
And they laundered it
You
into
know,
their pockets.
No, hold on a minute.
For
Jesus.
Okay, for their
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. For their fucking campaign, they took the fucking money.
Oh, damn, they're taking the money. Those damn Democrats stealing all the money. That's what rich people do, right into their pockets.
Yeah, can you shut the fuck up for a second?
What did I miss in 2 seconds?
This.
Okay.
So-
yeah.
So anyway, they have to get those 2 in line and tell them, listen, the restaurant industry isn't giving you that much money comparatively, okay? And they have to tell them to fight to fucking nuke the filibuster because we can't have, Mitch McConnell be the fucking majority leader while he's the minority leader.
Yeah. I know what
And
you're saying.
And it's not just those 2. There's a few others that are a little straggly, but they have to get shit done. Otherwise, we won't take those Senate seats back.
Well,
They'll lose the House, and then in 2024, they'll lose the president again. They'll lose the presidency. So
Well-
if they keep pussyfooting, they will have. They can't pussyfoot.
Well, what
is
else
what
do
I'm trying to
liberals
say.
do? I thought that was like the liberal agenda. Was
Well, it's not. Well, they're not liberals. I don't know. Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema aren't liberals. So
Biden and his whole little also.
Don't you make fun of my girl. She's an awesome senator. Yes, she does make some bad decisions every now and then, but she's still awesome.
Who?
She's the senator from not Alabama, Arizona.
Alabama.
She,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you're gonna say all of
They
it.
begin with an A.
but
well, maybe she can, stop flirting with the Republicans, and she can help nuke the filibuster, so we could get the fucking
That's what
Republicans out of the
Democrats do.
goddamn way.
They flirt with Republicans all day, thinking, "Hey, let's hold
Well,
hands." Tee-hee.
I mean, I wouldn't say that all the Democrats do that. I would say
The majority
some
of
of them.
Democrats say, "Let's build
Well,
this
I mean,
together."
it's not
then
the
you guys are
majority of
showing
Democrats
thunder.
here that we're talking about. It's 2 Democrats, 2 out of 50. So that's a pretty small
90% of
percentage. But
Democrats want to build that bridge with the Republicans.
no.
I don't think
No.
90%. That's just clown shoe, dude.
It's
That's
like
clown shoe.
99% of Democrats saying, "Let's hold hands and skip across a bridge."
No.
This is Pat. This is Pat being a fucking clown shoe.
As Republicans
90
murder that
90
Democrat under the bridge.
I mean, I'm definitely. They definitely have to make sure that they put the working class first. But to say the clown shoe nonsense of 90% of Democrats, that's like a fucking Bush League argument. That's just not even close.
No, I see all the Democrats wanting to unite and try to talk to the other side.
I think they want to unite with themselves and vote like as
They
a
wanna
voting
vote
bloc
The,
in the
the
Senate.
Democratic Party uniting, yeah, that's gonna fucking happen. in
Exactly.
a
Everybody
million
is all
years.
stupid. What a stupid party.
The Democratic Party can't even unite. Like, okay,
I know. What a stupid party.
This was back
Keep
during the
it up.
election. This was back during the election. Okay, so Nancy Pelosi says to all of the progressives, okay,
I think I'm having a
Nobody-
stroke.
nobody,
Toast.
nobody will endorse anybody. We'll only endorse incumbents. And then Nancy Pelosi goes and endorses what the fuck's his name from Massachusetts for Ed Malarkey's seat. Steve, help me out here. The Kennedy fuck.
Yeah, Kennedy,
Yeah.
Joe Kennedy.
Yeah, the Kennedy fuck, of course.
She endorses Joe Kennedy, and then all the progressives are like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" So then they turn around and endorse Ed Malarkey.
Wow, it just sounds like you guys repeated what I said. D for dumb.
It is D for dumb. That's what I'm trying to say. The Democrats are fucking dumb. They can't unite.
No, I don't.
Yeah, we all already know
I
what
don't
the
know.
R for Republican stands for, and they say that word a lot in the South. Those hard R states.
Yeah.
I don't. It to me, I think that what we need to do. This is why we need to flip those seats in 2022, so we don't have to worry.
I doubt we're
you
gonna.
know, about Kristen Sinema and
I think things are gonna kind of be more or less the
Joe
same.
Manchin. Like we can't. Well, I mean. Well,
I think we're gonna
if
end
you
up with the same number that we have right now.
if you stay home and not vote, then yeah, of course it'll all be the same. Which is exactly what they want you to do. Unfortunately, some people actually, they do sit home and not vote, or they complain about everything. And
What about you, Patty? Are you gonna sit
Yeah.
home and not vote?
No, I voted. I voted.
Yeah.
I go out and
Except he voted third party.
Wait, did you really vote third party?
uh,
Oh, here's
Only
smiling. He's
locals.
fucking around.
Oh man, and he had to think about it too. Holy shit, I could have sold you on that.
I've had some wine in my system. Leave me alone, damn it.
Yeah, let's blame the alcohol for your shortcomings.
Anyway, so
What about Oregon?
hashtag Andy always.
Yeah, Andy has to blame alcohol on everything.
no, I don't blame alcohol on everything. Okay, well, what did you say about Oregon?
Oregon, however you want to pronounce that. Pointless.
I always pronounce it Oregon.
Pronouncing it wrong.
I actually had a friend who was from Oregon, and they say Oregon, like an
It is
organ donor.
Because it is.
Oregon.
Because that's how it
Like,
is.
pretend you're saying the word organ as in organ donor.
But I refuse to pronounce it that way. All due to that terrible game that caused every kid nightmares when they died of dysentery on that stupid trail. So they actually passed a law that decriminalized all drugs.
Yeah, I heard about that. There's a whole bunch of countries that have done that at this point
Well, yeah,
because they want
So-
to do it. They want to treat it. They want to treat addiction like what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
like it's
you
a
go to
disease.
you go to rehab instead.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Patty? You're doing hard drugs, and they don't want to send you to prison. They want to send you to rehab instead.
That's better.
Is it though? Should we just send them to prison so we can make money off of them?
No, it's not the way. Just send them.
But then how are those prisons going to make money?
Well, prison
What?
shouldn't be making money because prison.
Well, why not?
Because they should be for reform, not for
But
making money.
Well, venture capitalists, though. It's a capitalist thing to do. Make
Well,
money as you can.
Well, fuck
Now,
venture
just-
capitalists.
Just so we're clear, possessing these drugs is not a criminal offense anymore. It's still, you can still civil offenses and court ordered therapy and whatnot. So just when people try to criticize, they're legalizing all drugs. They're not legalizing them; they're just decriminalizing them.
Yeah,
Yes.
true.
So that means
just
that they're going to go to rehab to get the help they need. They're not going to be like, okay,
Exactly.
here's an extra bag of heroin. Have fun tripping.
Here's a slab of tabs of acid. Here you go.
Yeah, here you go. You earned it. You're the 100th million drug addict in Oregon, so here you go. Today's your lucky day.
But well, because I mean, the drug courts. A lot of conservatives like to criticize the drug courts.
Well, yeah.
They are a genuine help, and the biggest problem with them is that
But I
they
think
don't have enough people staffing them.
The
And
fact
they don't
that
have enough judges either.
the fact that state did it, I think that bodes pretty well for other states to follow suit. Because if you thought about any state doing that, you wouldn't have thought Oregon as being.
I would. Oregon's a pretty progressive state, dude. They've had,
So them decriminalizing all drugs, you're thinking, oh, that's got to be fucking Oregon.
I mean, I thought California would do it first, but
Oh, there you go. You just proved my god.
Oregon or Washington would be a close
My
fucking
god, you just
second.
proved my goddamn point again.
Oregon was up there as a Democratic state to probably do that or try.
I could literally ask you, was the sky blue at 1 p.m.? You'd look outside at 8:30 and be like, no, it's not.
I'm gonna fucking. You were
You
so
gotta answer
annoying.
You guys just want to answer questions when given to you. You guys go around in circles. You get 1 hour, then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, it would be California, not Oregon.
Well, Oregon's a progressive fucking state. They
Yeah,
are
Yeah,
different.
Oregon, Washington, and California are very democratic. Sometimes they're progressive, sometimes they're not. But I would definitely say Oregon and Washington are more progressive than California is.
Yes, but if I said, what state do you think would be the first state ever to be like, we're going to decriminalize drugs? You wouldn't have guessed Oregon. Yeah, you would have probably guessed California, maybe Washington even.
I would say Oregon over California.
So when you heard decriminalize
Or maybe Hawaii. Hawaii's a very democratic state.
that would have been the thing that clicked in your mind. Oh, drugs are decriminalized in this state. That's got to be fucking Oregon, guys. I bet it is.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If somebody if you're asking it in a trivia function, everybody always asks.
Yeah, fill in the fucking blank. No more-
if you're asking like it's trivia, people always try to get you to think.
No, there
Okay,
is
so
no
this is a progressive thing. What state would do this first? Everybody would say, "Oh, California."
There you
But
fucking
in fact, it's actually not.
That's the thing. That's the whole question of what state you thought first. Not what state actually would do it. It's just the fact is, in your mind, when you think of that question, you're like, oh, that's got to be California. And then you think of it, oh, Oregon did that. That's pretty cool. I wouldn't have thought of that. It's awesome that they did it.
The point is, what we're trying to say is, we would think Oregon would do that because it's a progressive state.
The very first thing in your mind. Oh, that's
It's
fucking
one
Oregon.
of the very first things in our minds, you retard. Jesus.
That's
And
gotta be Oregon, all right.
No.
And here's the reason why I wouldn't think California. California
Is a
has its
progressive
moments
state.
where it's not very progressive.
No, it's not.
This past
You're
This
both. You're
past
all fucking
election-
right. You guys would have guessed California.
past
Why didn't you
election-
Oregon? You guys would have been like,
election,
yeah,
they
probably
approved
maybe
an anti-worker bill.
legalize weed and shit as well.
This past election, they approved an anti-worker bill. Also, they had Prop 8 back in 2008, where
You know
They were
what?
trying
I've been
to-
lying
they
to
were
you,
trying
guys.
to vote-
Oregon. Get fucking
They were
wrecked.
tr-
Don't fucking
they were
lie.
trying to
All right,
vote-
relax there, but relax.
Don't lie.
they were trying to they were trying to
Criminalize everyone.
ban gay marriage, and it actually passed in California, and that was in 2008. So California, and then they had Arnold Schwarzenegger be their governor. So
Damn,
Arnold
2008.
Schwarzenegger, you can't count that. He was
That's 40 fucking years ago. That's over a decade ago. You know what also happened 50 years ago, guys? Fuck, man. There was this thing
Well-
called the Cold War.
well-
Holy fuck.
Did something happen in Tamaqua?
I mean, what? We'll get you a nice Trump sign, shape of a train, and we'll put it on your front yard. How about that?
How about no?
Let's ride the cold Trump train.
Not enough.
What's that, Patty? You want one too? I'm not hearing them.
Yeah, I'm not hearing him either.
Yeah, I don't hear you, Pat.
Still not hearing you. What kind of audio guy are you?
He's using his cell phone.
I'm using my cell phone too.
And got Andy sticking up for all them other audio engineers out here.
But anyway,
Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Yeah, there you
Yeah, I was connected to my Bluetooth.
So you also want a Trump train in your front yard.
Oh, God, no.
So Tamak was pretty dumb.
Tamak was shit.
See, I'm not the only one who thinks it.
We drove through it, and it made me
Exactly.
appreciate Wilkes-Barre 80 times more.
I know. It's like, wow, to think of this. People decided to live here and stay here. That's why they voted Trump.
Well, all of those, a lot of. So I'm gonna quickly bring this up. I recently was reading.
No,
I
you
told
weren't.
Pat about this. I was recently reading a book called Road to Wigan by George Orwell, and
Yeah,
I
me
haven't
too.
I haven't
Book.
finished. I haven't finished it all the way through, but
Oh, how come?
I'm about halfway through. I'm at the point where George Orwell basically talks about how it's easier for middle class people to believe in socialist ideals over working class people, which in today's day and age, I don't even think there's a bit of a. I think working class and middle class people, it's all social because they make about this. They make this about the same amount of money, and he also talks about how socialists, because they come from the middle class for the most part, they still kind of act snobbish against working class people. And socialists basically work against themselves.
All right. You know what I have to say to that?
What?
Okay, so you're obviously everyone here is getting paid more than minimum wage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So let's say minimum wage, boom, it's now $15 an hour starting right now.
Yes.
How do you feel? They don't give you a bump in pay at all. Your pay is what your pay is, unless you're under 15. Then you get bumped up to 15.
If my company didn't give me a bump, or it wasn't enough of a bump, I'd
No,
probably
no bump. No bump.
no bump. I'm probably putting my resume on those.
Unless you're under 15, that's the only way you get a bump. If you're
Yeah,
under,
I mean,
That's true.
they would have to.
why?
Not all
Well-
companies won't do that.
It would eventually catch up with them because
No.
people would say
See?
people who are making $17.50 an hour would basically be like, you know, I could go do like if
There it is.
I could
And
go
that's why
flip
you're
burgers
And that's
for
Wrong.
you know, not to shit on people, you know, work in the fast food industry, but
No,
eventually it would come back and it would come back to bite them. Is basically what would
When
happen.
it come back to bite them,
People
it
would.
comes back to bite you.
I mean, it would eventually come back to bite the corporations.
No,
They
'cause there'll
basically
always
decide,
be
okay,
There'll always be workers. There'll always be someone fresh out of high school, just like, oh, time for me to get a job, do. But you both just proved my point. You would leave your job if they didn't give you a bump.
Right.
And therefore you're going against the sayings in that book already. You are that working class that says, ugh, socialism, because you just denied that right there. It's not about that we should have equal pay for living wage, but I got to make sure that I make more than certain people. You just embodied that right there.
Well,
so here's the thing.
I don't want
So
no newcomer making as much as me. Disgusting
The-
newcomers.
where I work, okay, they start off at about, if I remember correctly, it's like 11 or 12 an hour, I think.
Yeah.
If you're gonna start off people at $15 an hour, like there's no way that they would be able to leave everybody the same that's making more than that. They just can't do that.
But you're falling right into the exact trap of the Republicans.
They
And-
might want to try to do that, Sure, a company might want to try and do that, but eventually it's gonna fuck them.
No, it's not, because it happens on every incremental increase. There was a point in time when Walmart paid you minimum wage. There was a time Walmart said, okay, now we're going to pay you $9. No matter what company decides to make their base pay, some employees are going to get screwed over regardless. It's just the way it is. If minimum wage went to $15 an hour, and let's say you're only 16 and they don't give you a bump, and you're upset that someone comes in the door at 15, it's gonna be tough shit for you. That's the way it is for a lot of jobs. Yeah, it's gonna be unfair to some, and some will even benefit because, yeah, I'm sure there would be a bump in most cases, but you just proved why the Republicans have a case against raising the minimum wage and why moderate Democrats are also against it too. Because what about these businesses? That's what it is.
Yeah, small town businesses will get hurt by it.
See, you just proved.
Well,
my original point was that
the reason why the moderate Democrats won't do it is because, like I said before, they take money from the fucking restaurant industry.
Well, the restaurant
That's
industry is also the whole, every industry that's going to benefit from this bump. But the fact is, you both just said, I would leave my job without a bump because I don't want someone coming under me almost the same pay as me when I've been here for 2 years. There's going to be unfairness no matter where you go.
I mean, it's not for and I can't speak for Andy, but it's not like an anger towards the person that's coming in. It'd be like, oh, okay, so the company's...
But you feel jaded towards the company, though.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well...
Exactly, but...
I mean, any company that doesn't pay $15 an hour minimum wage the way it is...
No, but that's...
There's a reason to be jaded at them anyway, so...
But this is why companies won't get fucked.
I would like to add, I didn't even bring up the minimum wage. My argument, the argument that George Orwell makes in the book,
the trap of thinking you're on this super left-leaning side about socialism, but you fell into the trap where most moderates sit around. Like, yeah, I'm all about socialism, but secretly, god damn it, I better be making more than some of these newcomers walking in the door.
Well, it depends on how much how much socialism do you want? Do you want to be as socialist as a country like,
There you go. No, the question, you answered the question already. You didn't want a newcomer making as much as you. So you're fine to socialism to a degree, but you don't want a newcomer making much as you. So therefore, you feel that you deserve to make more money than that newcomer no matter what. That newcomer could be the new Einstein. He's just like, here I am, new job today. Sorry that I'm almost paid as much as you. But you're like, fuck you, Einstein Jr. You're a new guy.
Well,
you don't.
Well, but I'm not taking it out on Mr. Einstein Jr.
No, you're taking it on the company.
What I'm saying is,
and the company won't care though.
So let's say somebody makes $17 an hour. Let's say they've been promoted once or twice and have been working there for 5 or 6 years. And they're making $17 an hour. They started out at 11 or 12. If you bump that up to 15, you cannot have that small of a window between newcomers and people who have been promoted.
Of course you can. Here's a very simple.
You could, like I said, you could start it off. Like the company could try and do that. They could just say, "Oh, fuck these people."
They'll get away.
Eventually, it's not gonna work.
They'll get away.
Eventually, the only way that they're gonna get people to stay is if they raise the wage for everybody else.
They don't have to do that at all by one simple basis.
Well, let's see if they are able to get the work done.
This is what they're going to do. Okay, Patty, you're working in, we're going to call it Warehouse A. You've been at Warehouse A for 5 years. You are now $18 an hour. Minimum wage has now increased to $15. Andy decides, I'm now going to work at Warehouse A. So I'm going to get $15 an hour now too. Yay. Well, Patty, we're not going to give you a bump at all. So the move's in your court, Patty. You've been with us for a handful of years. You're still more than $15 an hour. You either stay with us or you go to Warehouse B. Warehouse B is definitely not going to give you they're not going to give you $18 walking in the door. They might pay you more than $15 because $15 is the minimum wage and you already have experience. But that means you're going to take a pay cut and a lot less years with that company. So that means you're going to lose a lot of your pay time off you also accrued. You're going to lose a lot of those benefits you accrued. So that's how
I can't see a business doing that, to be honest. I can't see.
every
I
time.
can see them again. I can see them trying, but I can't see it being successful. They're not going to be. They're not going to be sitting there paying people,
11.
paying supervisors and whatnot, $17, $18 an hour when newcomers are making 15. It just can't happen.
It can. It happens all the time. Look at Chewy.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with Chewy?
Chewy, in 2018, they were paying people about $13 an hour. Then they decided, 2020, we're going to all pay you $15 an hour. Those new people didn't get a bump. But that's what I said. You either have what you have now and maybe take a $2 pay cut so you're still above them, but you're losing a lot of your benefits as well. Like if you've been with a company for 20 years and you're only a couple bucks over the minimum wage now, you really want to start over at a whole new company? You're going to lose all your PTO, all your benefits that you've accrued, and walking through a new business. They're not going to be obligated to give you your base pay, and they're probably going to make a small bump above 15.
I'm just saying I can't see a company trying to exist like that. I can't see it.
There is actually a realistic example. Anyone here remember Circuit City?
Yeah.
Yep.
So Best Buy, Circuit City paid commission, and Best Buy didn't. Circuit City tried to take away commission, and everyone left immediately.
That wasn't the reason why Circuit City went under.
Well, it wasn't completely the reason why they went under.
That wasn't the reason at all. You go under losing your employees. You go under when you go bankrupt.
I didn't say they went under. I said the employees started to leave.
No, there's always going to be people are always going to need jobs.
Right.
So exactly. So let's say you're getting paid $18 an hour, and minimum wage is now $15, and they don't give you a bump. You're just going to quit your job and go somewhere new?
I'm not going to quit, but I'm going to look for a new job.
Yeah, but that new job you get isn't going to pay you $18 an hour. They're not going to pay you your starting base pay right now.
I mean, I'd look around to see if anyone would.
They might come close, but then let's say they do. So let's say you're at Warehouse A and you're at $18 an hour, and you're like, "Damn, Warehouse A for giving that raise to people to 15. I'm going to go to Warehouse B to make $18 an hour." That means you just gave up all your benefits to get the same base pay at a whole new company.
That's right.
That's a terrible move. Companies don't need to lay their hand on the table. They're holding the cards. Places like Amazon, Chewy, True Value, all your over-the-phone teleconferencing, whether you're doing with student loans or federal loans or insurances, they have the cards because people are going to go to them. If you leave your job right now, you're going to go most likely to a very similar job. It's going to be a lateral move. You're not going from, "Yeah, I can help you redirect your loan," to "Pass me that scalpel, nurse. I'm going to cut out this cancer and save this man."
I mean, realistically speaking, that would be the better move to actually get a job that's in a better field, but
exactly. But in the case the case that the majority are in, is it would be a lateral move because they're mad at the company, and that's how companies are going to get away with it. Because let's say Steve is Warehouse A and you're Warehouse B, and you're both upset with what your company just did. So you know what happens? You go to Warehouse A and he goes to Warehouse B. You know what that means? Both companies are satisfied because they both have employees who are already moderately trained. That's how companies get away with it, because they're going to gain someone who is already semi-knowledge, because other people will move lateral. That's how they do it. That's how they've been doing it. It's how Walmart's been doing it. It's how Amazon's been doing it. It's how Chewy's been doing it. It's okay to be mad at the company. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying that they can get away with it because the whole workforce isn't going to leave. And it won't dent them because they will find someone filling in right away.
Let's also point something out, too, here. This minimum wage increase isn't supposed to take effect until 2025 anyway.
Well,
so who knows where we'll be
it's
then.
supposed to slowly increase. It's not supposed to jump to 15.
yeah, nobody's.
True.
Yeah. I just wanted to make that clear.
But that's how companies would get away with it, because they can. Because right now, companies are more powerful than you or I. by far. Imagine.
Oh yeah, there's no question.
They have the monopoly.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I think
Fuck.
people need to start unionizing more. They really do.
Pat doesn't even work for Walmart. But Mr. Walmart can go into Patty's grocery store and kick him in the nuts, and he'll get away with it. He'll just walk straight out and be like, have a good day, bitches.
All of the Walton family members could kick all of us in the balls.
Yeah. And that's
Actually,
how it goes.
realistically speaking, Jeff Bezos can probably like
Are you?
kick in the
Jeff Bezos can be live on Twitch right now, sawing a man literally in half, and get away with it.
Sad but true.
I know.
He has so much money.
I know. That's why guillotine time. Yeah, that's your sad reality, but businesses aren't going to change. It's the way it is. It sucks, but that's what happens when you have Democrats who don't want to be more aggressive in getting real changes done.
What
They
to
should-
you- let me ask you a question.
Well,
What
I
to you
mean-
what to you is real change? What do you
They-
think the Democrats
they
should
should
do for the
say-
next 4 years?
They should
Win
literally
elections,
Ted
so they
Cruz.
don't have to worry about moderates like Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin.
Steve, you're interrupting now.
see.
I
I would
know.
even the moderates have more value than Ted Cruz. Like, there should be no Democrat who's saying, you know what, Ted Cruz, I really don't fucking like you, but maybe we can talk. No, they should say, fuck you, Ted Cruz. You sit in the corner and you face the other way. Don't look at us.
Okay, wait.
Don't air.
Okay, what do Democrats do in the next 4 years?
They do need to raise minimum wage. We do need another stimulus check.
Okay.
We also need student loan forgiveness. He really needs to work on that. That's going to be a big selling point for a lot of the Democrats. And healthcare. He really needs to fucking set that whole system
Healthcare
up
fucking
fire.
blows.
Start it.
Okay, public option or Medicare for all?
Medicare for all.
Would you take public option as a compromise?
It depends on where I'm leaning, where I'm going towards. If I feel like I can make that push at Medicare for all, then I think you got to go for it. And then you use the public option as a fallback plan. But I think you have one option in mind and you roll with it. And now that we're in a social media age, there's no reason why the Democrats shouldn't be abusing the social media platform, saying Medicare for all will work like this, and this is how it will benefit you. Actually start vomiting what is going to happen.
I think Democrats have tried that before. Bernie Sanders has tried that, and
Bernie-
he's not president.
And, you know, Bernie Sanders gets a lot of respect, but you also don't have Bernie Sanders who say, good job, Ted Cruz. I respect you as an
Yeah.
opponent. Because there is no respect for Ted Cruz or Mitch McConnell. I don't want him shaking my hand. Pandemic or no pandemic.
So if Mitch McConnell
He did
came up
get a
to you-
change though.
Like, none of that.
Ted Cruz got a nice haircut.
Yeah, like, Ted Cruz has such a disgusting fucking haircut. I don't want him in the same room as me. He can fucking sit outside at the little kids' table while the adults are talking. So, Steve, would you rather public option or Medicare for all?
Medicare for all. I'm concerned about the public option. Some think that if there's a public option, what'll happen is they'll just dump the sick and old people on it. It'll be expensive because it's only got sick and old people on it, and
It won't be as good. Yeah.
it won't be as good. And what'll happen is people will say, "Oh, look, here's the public option. It's a bad thing. Look how expensive it is," and then it'll end up the public option will end up being it'll end up like polling badly. Like if you polled like, what do you think of the public option? 10 years after you have it, and it's just expensive and it's got sick and old people on it, people will end up wanting to get rid of it, which is kind of what's going on with
Everything else.
Medicare, because Medicare for old people is pretty damn expensive too.
Yeah. And that's why I think the Democrats need to make a real push at Medicare for all. That should be their main goal in mind. Not
Yeah.
compromise with the Republicans. There is no
And
more
I-
compromise with them.
And I think I would. One of the things that does hurt us is calling it Medicare for all. It doesn't poll as well as like universal health care or health care for all.
No, but that's
one of the reasons why. One of the reasons why is Medicare, like I said, is expensive. So old people who are on Medicare see Medicare for all, and they say, "Oh no, I don't want that for my grandkids or my kids." Look at how expensive this is. It's going to be just as expensive for them, and that ends up,
because it's the verbiage that people
hurting us.
hear a thing in their mind and they think of it negatively. That's why the Democrats should be on these platforms and just really hammering home. I've always been an advocate of musicians sharing their political opinions. Like, what about you, Patty? Do you believe that it's okay for musicians to share their political beliefs?
They should, if they have their facts straight.
So you're saying like Rage Against the Machine is okay to be a political band?
Yeah, they could be a political band. Why not?
Because I remember that one guy, who was he, Andy, who said he doesn't like Rage Against the Machine because they're a political band now.
Who? I mean, a bunch of people have said that, but yeah, they've always been political.
Yeah, it was that one
always
Republican
been
who said, I
political.
can't listen to Rage Against the Machine anymore because they're too political.
Oh, he was Speaker of the House.
Yeah, I know. Could you imagine
Oh,
that?
Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan, he said that.
Yeah, I
And they-
remember that.
And I think if you do have your facts straight as a band, you should be able to shout what you want on your political beliefs because that's your platform. You're using your platform to not hurt others, but to benefit. Like Colin Kaepernick when he took a knee. He didn't do anything wrong.
You did, and then everyone
Hated
got
him.
completely offended by it.
He did the right thing. He was peaceful and he got the attention drawn to him. If a musician like Serge Tankian said, fuck you, Trump, like he did on Facebook before, he should be allowed to do that. If I'm going to talk to someone who understands what the Armenia people are going through, it would be Serge Tankian. Serge Tankian has a big understanding of Turkey. So what his political opinions are about Turkey are pretty valid. It's not like Ted Cruz, linking porn on his Twitter account.
That was kind of weird and funny. I don't even know how that happened.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I
You
feel
just
like
did it.
I feel like we need more people in the public spotlight sharing their political beliefs if they know what they're talking about.
Well, yeah, they should. And to be clear, conservatives only like it when conservative musicians, like some country guys, share their political opinions. So it's a double standard. They only like it when it benefits
The Republican
them.
Party is 100% double standard.
Uh,
Do as I say, but not as I do.
Yeah, and yeah, they only like it when it benefits them.
Of course. Like this whole vaccine situation. Republicans hated the whole idea about vaccines and all that other nonsense. Republicans always said, oh, the vaccine's going to be stupid or garbage or microchipping you. But you see them lining up for it now. And we don't even have enough for everybody because, lo and behold, the Republicans fucked everybody.
Wait, how did they fuck everybody?
Trump
They
didn't
went in
order.
line and got the vaccines.
Oh, they didn't order enough. Okay,
And there also, some Republicans have been lying and they've been jumping ahead of lines to get the vaccine.
They have been. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like, I imagine you guys didn't get your vaccine at all.
I did
No,
not
I
get
haven't.
mine yet.
no. I think my father might be in line for it, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. Like, you don't even know. We don't even know what's going on. But Trump caused such a crack in just the society as a whole that he should have been tried. And them saying, well, us trying to go after him is only going to cause more pain. Nope. We got to clean the wound. Got to flush him out. And then we'll stitch it up.
I'm of the opinion that civil war is probably on the horizon.
I mean, it feels like it, but
No.
like, how would you feel right now? Like, if someone like Bernie Sanders let's say he's already done in the political spotlight because, I mean, Bernie is, he's up there in age already. So let's say he steps down. It's finally time for him to enjoy his life. And his final words are, you know what? Fuck you, Ted Cruz. Are you gonna, be like, I can't believe he would say such a thing?
If he said that, I would give him a round of applause.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like...
Yeah, you would. Not like Joe Schmo saying, I'll be like, fuck Bernie Sanders, and they'll flip out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Republicans never want to work with the Democrats, and yet the Democrats still offer out that hand, and they got to stop. I understand that they're trying to work with the moderates. The moderates, we kind of have to.
There are no moderates in the Republican Party. I don't.
No, I'm talking about.
I can't think of anybody. I can't.
I'm talking about moderates in general. We do need to work with moderates because we kind of need them.
Okay, let's be 100% clear. Moderate in America is not actually moderate. It's just.
We're talking about.
I mean, the American political spectrum is the Democrats are the center, and the Republicans are all the way in the fucking right.
Yeah.
Okay. When people say moderate, it's not actually moderate, like moderate Republican somewhere near the center right or moderate. Fuck moderates.
True. They don't want to help at all. But however, moderates can be swayed to go Republican in certain times. And right now, I can understand that maybe Biden wants to, reach hands to the moderates. But he should. Fuck you, Trump supporters. Don't touch me.
Yeah, it's just like the moderate, have you guys ever heard of the concept of the Overton window? It's basically everything has moved so far right, starting from the Bill Clinton days up till now, that center is right of center.
Yeah, it's almost like to have just a liberal view of, gosh, gay marriage and women have choices sounds so radical to people is a problem.
Yeah. And every now and then I go on our politics, and some guy from Finland commented, I can't stand it when I hear Americans say liberals are left, because a liberal is not left.
But
there are certain ideologies of liberal that can land left.
Finland people. Finland aren't even watching our videos, okay? We don't need to worry about that.
I was just bringing that up as an example.
How do you feel? Do you feel like Biden should be working with the Republicans?
No, because there is nobody to work with.
What about you, Steve? Do you think he should really try swaying some of those Republican naysayers out there?
Was that a question for me? No.
What about you, Patty?
He shouldn't be working with the Republican Party, period.
Exactly. Because the Republican Party didn't give a fuck about the Democratic Party. Right now, we need to fix his mess. And it's gonna be a meaningful 2 years. I mean, Biden's actually done a lot, and he's continuing to really...
He did only what he could do. Now he has to work with Congress, and Congress is... The House of Representatives is fine. The Senate's a fucking mess.
I mean, don't you kind of hope one day that Biden just has a breakdown and he just posts on Twitter in all caps and in broken sentences? Wouldn't that be a fun thing to see?
I think Biden at one point is going to wake up and say, okay, I have to start being a little bit more siding with the progressives, because
I just see his Twitter post. #shut up, man.
Could you imagine if Biden just says #golfing? Fuck you guys.
Kamala, you're in charge for the rest of the.
It's weird because these past 4 years we've got so used to Trump just shouting random shit on Twitter. That now we have a president who is on Twitter but doesn't really vomit.
He doesn't use it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of weird because we got so used to, okay, what's going to be the new fucking saying that he's going to say, kafafe. Are we going to have a new one of those? Is Biden going to spell something wrong like that and we're all going to be like, holy shit?
Well, Biden's been keeping... I don't really view Twitter that much, but...
No, Biden's been pretty standard. He doesn't just vomit words onto his screen and all cap locks.
I mean, he's not like Trump active on Twitter. He's active enough for a modern day politician. But like,
okay, but who would win in a golf match? Who would win, Biden or Trump? Who do you think would win?
I don't know. I don't care.
Oh, Trump is. Well, I don't know. I mean, I've heard Trump's
Does
a good
Biden
golfer.
really golf?
But see,
I don't
But
think
then
he
I've
does.
heard
Is the
Trump.
question.
But then I've heard that Trump lies a lot about how good he does.
Yeah,
So there's
I
that too.
I'm
We don't
hearing
know.
from around Scotland and Ireland, and like a lot of people that work on those courses say he lies heavily, and his handicap is terrible. They say that Trump's actually a really bad golfer in
Is
terms
he?
of how long he's been.
Yeah, I believe it.
He's probably slicing it to the right.
I just know that a reporter from Golf Digest did an interview while golfing with Trump. This was before he was president. And after they were done, they were in the up at the clubhouse, and these two girls who were like less than 15 years old came up to Trump and talked to Trump and were like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Trump." And Trump said to these pre-teenage girls, "Oh, you guys look like you can be a model someday." That's what he told them.
That's kind of creepy.
That's the right thing to do in America when you're rich and white. You get away with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I actually seen some reports here. So Trump said to one reporter, his score is in the low 70s.
Yeah, that is kind of terrible.
No, that's actually really good.
Oh, really? I don't.
That's good. Yeah.
Wait.
For somebody
Terrible
not
would have
in
been like
PGA
150.
Tour,
Yeah, like
somebody who's not a professional golfer, that's good.
if Trump was telling the truth about his golf score being in the low 70s, right? Okay, so according from the National Golf Foundation, only 26% of all golfers shoot below 90.
That's a true fact.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up to 90 after fucking 10 holes.
Like that's when some reporters, well, not real reporters, people that they kind of talked about around like the golf course, because I mean, he's not alone on these golf courses. So they're noting that his longest range doesn't really exceed 230 yards. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of golf in the slightest,
Neither am I.
but they do say like 230 yards is not like an impressively long shot.
It's not.
Like, Steve, how often
like-
do you golf?
Once or twice a year.
Like, do you think you can do 230 yards on a shot?
I know I can't.
If I was a lucky shot, yeah, I could smash it that far. I've smashed it that far before, like once. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't do that regularly. I could probably, if I got it lucky enough, I could get it that far.
Yeah, because
Actually, wait, 230 yards? Now that I think about it, no, I can't do 230 yards. Not that
My longest drive was 145.
Have you guys ever gone over? You know where Andy's Diner is?
Yeah, the driving range. I go there.
How far is it all the way to the back?
Like 150.
Okay,
Man.
so I've hit it 150. I can hit it 150 on a very good day.
yeah, I mean, you know, give them credit, they could do 230 yards, but they're even saying here like 230 yards is not a professional level range. Like, there's no way you're going to shoot low 70s if you can't hit it that far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like me hitting the ball only 10 yards and then somehow finishing off with like a score of 20.
Yeah, I mean, well, pars are usually around like what? What's a usual par at a garden variety golf course?
Well, he goes
Let
to
me
all
check.
the high-end ones, so I don't know what they are. But they also do say he lied about his handicap. He said his handicap is a 2.8.
There's no way his handicap's a 2.8.
Yeah, they say his handicap's a lot. His handicap is a lot worse. Yeah, his real handicap is a 4.8.
Is that really bad
I would
or
believe
like
it.
kind of
Yeah,
bad?
your handicap
I
in
would
golf.
believe it would have been
I'm
higher.
literally just learning about golf on the fly here. So his handicap, we're going to round that 4.8 to 5. You know, what I mean, obviously you want the lower the handicap, the better. What happens is on your handicap, it usually means that that's the average you're shooting over par. About.
Yeah, there's no way.
So if he's shooting, 5 over par on average, he can't have a good score.
So 72 is par at
Yeah.
the Trump National Golf Club in DC. That sounds about right. It's usually in the 70s in that ballpark. But if you want to like be a professional golfer, you gotta finish way behind 72. Well, you gotta get on a par
Average is like
5. You gotta
40.
get it. You gotta get it in 3. You gotta get it in 4. You can't like be getting par and then expect to
I mean,
to win.
yeah, and I mean, I'm sure, like, depending on where he plays matters a lot, but, like, put that in perspective. Like, Tiger Woods' best score was a 61. And I'm sure he played in a lot harder condition and a lot bigger course, I guess, but
Well, those bigger ones, the higher end ones, they are more challenging because because they put more water traps. There's more trees. There's more sand.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I get it. Like, he's not doing all that shit, but it's like, I don't know how good a Trump golfer is. And I wonder if, Biden could take him on the golf course. That's what we should see. That's what we should have seen. That they should do that for charity, except Trump would steal that money.
I don't know. Does Biden have the moves to actually drive the ball that far? And
I don't,
don't know.
fucking know.
We don't know because Biden
You know what I
doesn't
mean?
go golfing all the time. Like, what the fuck, Biden? We need you to go golfing more.
I think he's just at the White House now, just staring at the window, be like, "Where's Barack Obama at?"
Barack Obama slam dunking on them kids in the streets playing basketball. I remember when people used to get on Barack Obama for doing that.
Oh God,
What,
yeah.
slam dunking on kids in the street? I didn't know he did that.
He wasn't dunking on kids, but he was playing basketball with people. They weren't kids per se; they were adults. It's not like a 12-year-old. He's
18.
fucking slamming. Barack Obama just slam dunking on a 12-year-old in a park. I'm the bitch.
Oh, God.
No, but Obama did have a lot of class, and Biden actually is showing class too, and I think that's really important to really see it.
I just want one moment where just Biden just gets pissed off. That's the problem. Democrats.
That's what I'm saying. I want to see Biden just be like, "Fuck you, Trump. Meet me 1v1 on the golf course," and then it's going to be like that goddamn fight from Happy Gilmore where Bob Barker
So there
starts.
was some okay. So there was this comedian who said that Bernie Sanders at one point during the debate should have just stood up and looked Biden in the face and said, "Joe, you're corrupt as fuck." Like he should have said, like that's the problem. Like a lot of politicians don't want to get angry.
No,
And that's the reason why Trump kind of caught on because he was getting angry like a little child gets fucking angry when they don't get their way.
wanted when he wanted.
Yeah, and like I just want one day where Joe Biden gets angry for the right reasons.
You can't do that. It shows weakness.
True. Like if he gets angry, then watch the media go insane on him.
Exactly. You'll see it everywhere. So on
Yeah.
Twitter, Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, like
But I wouldn't blame him. I mean, overall, like, how surprised are you with how Biden is right now?
I mean,
right now he's just chilling out.
Everything Biden has done so far was kind of predictable. I mean, he had to unfuck everything that Donald Trump fucked. It's just the next couple. It's just the next couple of months is going to be crucial, and I don't have faith that Joe Biden is actually going to get done what needs to get done.
True. But I mean,
God damn,
I'm
I'm sounding pessimistic.
still a little surprised that he's hanging in there. He's doing okay.
He's doing okay. I mean, I think Barack Obama was at this point was a better president than Joe Biden, but that's yet to
Yes, Barack Obama didn't have a Trump in front of him, though.
No, he had John McCain to face.
Well, I mean, you talk about like Barack Obama didn't have to like replace the entire toilet. Like Trump wasn't a clog in the toilet that could be like snaked. No, you just got to throw out the whole entire thing and set up a whole new entire plumbing, and that takes time.
Time we don't
Trump-
have, I don't think.
Trump is a clogged, destroyed toilet, and you can't save it.
Well,
So that's why Biden is not as to where he was, where like, Barack Obama was. But like I said, Barack Obama didn't have to get a whole new goddamn plumbing system.
well, I should clarify. Like, I don't think Biden is going to be as successful as Barack Obama, or I don't think he's gonna. I don't even think he's gonna come close.
I'm
to
hoping-
good.
I don't know.
Well, whoa. I'm hoping that he's more successful than Barack Obama, and that would be a real shame if he was less successful than Barack Obama, because Barack Obama and more. I blame again the Republicans and the Democratic leadership in the House and Senate more than I do Obama.
Wow, what a surprise! Steve, Republicans.
But I
They-
don't think. Well, I mean, that. Like, if you guys are familiar at all with like basketball,
No.
basketball.
you had the 1980s Pistons in Detroit, and they were
Sound like scrubs.
known for playing very rough for basketball anyway, and they had this thing called Jordan rules, where anytime Michael Jordan got close to that basket for a layup or a dunk or a short shot, they would smash into him. They would foul the fuck out of him. And they called it the Jordan rules. They would not let him score anything. And the Republicans did the same exact thing, in a figurative standpoint, obviously, to Barack Obama. It was basically like the Detroit Pistons had the Jordan rules. The 2010 Republicans.
And Steve's gone.
He died. I mean, goddamn, not to him. The Illuminati couldn't have him speak.
Did you kick me out, Andy?
No, you kicked yourself out, apparently.
I didn't even touch this. Can you hear me?
I
Yeah.
hear you and I can't see you. God damn it! What the fuck?
The
That
Illuminati-
Discord was
I blame Andy. I blame Andy
anyway-
on this one. He goes,
Goddamn,
I
Andy.
don't like basketball. Smash.
So anyway, so they basically did the same thing, Jim, and they stalled them pretty good. I mean, like I think like Obama would have much rather have signed something closer to Medicare for all than his Obamacare.
Agreed.
But
It was what the time sadly called for. Like I said, I think right now we kind of got to go for Medicare for all, and I think Biden can potentially get it done depending on who's going to work with them. And we do have now the backing of science, and I imagine Fauci is a lot more happier than he was with the Orange Man.
oh yeah,
Fauci is, he's probably overjoyed. Anyway, Pat, you wanted to talk a little bit about electric cars and electric vehicles?
Yeah, I mean, we could dive into that a little bit. I mean, we, like we said a little bit in brief. I mean, how Will Ferrell made that commercial talking about during the Super Bowl it aired, where he wanted to go to Norway about their electric vehicles or whatever, how they were beating us. And Norway's doing an amazing job with their electric vehicles. They went head first into let's get electric vehicles up and going. America, we didn't. We're lagging. We're lagging really behind. And it's not even just due to politicians 100%. It's also due to the lobbyists and also due to big car makers like GM and Ford and stuff like that. They really are holding back the electric car revolution, so to speak.
Well, this one YouTube channel I watch, Wendover Productions, did a good video exploring the problem. And at this point, the biggest problem is the infrastructure. There needs to be more chargers.
I can't even say that's the biggest problem.
Really? What do
It's
you
a problem, but it's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the price. Like, look at how expensive they are now. Like, if you want to buy like a Tesla, like you're not affording that.
I think
You're not
How much does one cost?
What?
the cheapest Tesla I think is 35.
Maybe. I just know expensive cars right now are kind of out of reach for the average American.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I mean-
that's because they don't make enough of them.
And because we weren't pushed for that, we weren't subsidizing those companies. We were subsidizing Ford to say, hey, make your shitty car plant in our city so you can manufacture shit. And gas subsidies. That's why we never got the ball rolling towards electric vehicles. Like, yeah, we don't have the infrastructure set up, but that's because there's no high demand to do that infrastructure yet. If we saw more demand, I imagine it would then start catching up to us about weak infrastructure, but that's something we could easily start fixing. We could just start giving more power stations, so to speak, I guess, at shitty Turkey Hills where people ask you for money and cigarettes on the side.
But
The only places around here that I know that have an electric charging cable are the Arena Bar and Grill. Behind the Arena Bar and Grill, they have some charging stations. And all the way up by Cinemark, by the shops on Montage. Those are the only two
Yep.
places I know of.
But see, that's why that's actually not terrible because those cars can make that distance easily. Electric cars
Oh,
actually
okay.
have that distance.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, let's see,
most of the Teslas have over 35 or 350 range.
Is there any gas backup at all on a Tesla?
No, it's
No.
all electric. It's not
Your
like a hybrid.
so your average Tesla, the
Tesla?
smallest battery is 244 to 326. But some of them could go up to over 500.
Okay.
And you have to think, like, that's actually not terrible for infrastructure speaking when we don't really have a huge demand on them. If we had a huge demand on them, I think we could catch up with the infrastructure. Like, I would like to drive an electric car.
I would too. As long as the other problem is most people think that it would be good for the environment, which it is true. Electric cars are better for the environment, but then you would actually put more strain on the power grid, and we're one of the few countries that doesn't import any of its energy. We all get it from we mostly
I don't think the power grid would be affected at all by it.
Really? Because most people are saying that's a problem.
No, I can't see that because it's going into a battery. It's not being, like, used for something. It's being stored in cells. I also imagine the charging is relatively fast because I think they did say cars do relatively charge fast.
30 minutes
Yeah, that's
with a fast charging port. But
fast for charge a whole car.
realistically speaking, when it comes to lithium-ion charging, it would only need to, like, the first 50 takes shorter to charge than the last 50.
But you have to think, though, like, if it takes like 30 minutes, that's still not bad. I can't imagine that being a big strain on the power grid like they say it is.
I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, within the next 10 years, we see a whole shit ton of electric cars because we need them.
Like by the time like electric cars become a reality here, we probably will have maybe alternative energy sources in our area.
Maybe.
Maybe we need more
I
of
don't know.
the.
Pennsylvania doesn't like to change.
I mean,
at
we
all.
see a few windmills. It would be nice to see like a whole fucking row of them.
It's not all of Pennsylvania, to be realistic. Realistically speaking, it's northeastern PA because of how many, dumb fucking.
Well, let's not
shit.
hate on all of northeastern Pennsylvania. It's
I mean,
not
okay,
even all of.
Scranton is okay. But
Well, I
Wilkes-Barre
mean,
is kind of a fucking-
even in this area, it's still purple. It's not totally red. The
Yeah.
problem is we have other parts of this county and other parts of the state where people are just fucking ignorant and they vote for the biggest jerk off on the ballot every 4 years
But I mean,
or every
windmills
year.
are not a popular choice amongst people.
They create
Those-
too much noise, man.
I've never in my life heard one of these windmills.
I know, but that's
You
what Donald Trump said.
You
Yeah.
can't hear them now. If you go up to them, you'll hear them.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you that now. If you go up to them, yes, you can hear them. Shenandoah, I think it is. I want to say it's Shenandoah. They have like a big windmill farm when you're going down into the town, actually.
Right.
I think it's Shenandoah. It's one of those random rural-ass cities past Tamaqua, but they actually have a big windmill farm down there.
That's
And you
cool.
actually get really close to them, too. But you don't have to worry about getting that windmill cancer. They're treated, so you don't get no windmill cancer.
Are they going to slow down the wind though? Isn't that a concern?
We're gonna take well, that's why Shenandoah or wherever the hell they're actually located is so nice. It's not windy because those windmills are using it all. It's the windless city. I think I would like to see more windmills. I mean, I think people think they're too much of an eyesore, but everywhere a windmill is located, you're not in your backyard. Like,
Windmills are an eyesore, but so a coal power plant, that's
Sure.
not a fucking eyesore. Jesus Christ, how dumb are fucking people?
I know, and like when you're on the Cross Valley, that 309 going south towards 115, you can actually see like those 4 windmills on the mountainside there.
Yeah.
Like they're around how
Yeah, you do.
I actually think they look pretty nice. I'd rather see like 100 of them up there. Fucking load that motherfucker up.
Yeah.
Or even see more solar panels around too. You know.
I mean, I definitely would like to see them. Solar panels definitely. I think windmills right now are the idea to go towards. Solar panels, unless we find a way to actually capture that energy, then it'd be useful. But I'm pretty sure with solar, we need to use that energy as it comes in. I don't think we're good at storing it. So, I mean, I definitely would like to see it. I mean, Pennsylvania doesn't need to focus on solar. Like, yeah, we can utilize it in some places, but like places like Arizona and New Mexico would be great for just solar. Fuck it, you got a goddamn desert. Put a goddamn solar farm there. No one's around it. Like, fucking put it there.
Well, there's already people buying a bunch of land for that reason.
Like, fuck, they should. In fact, they should put windmills in Chicago, so that way it won't be the Windy City anymore. Take away all their wind. Take it all. No, I say we end it there.
All right.
Windmills good. Fuck
All right.
Trump and the Republican Party.
Uh,
Yep.
Fuck 'em.